We are live on Queens Public Television. Everybody give a round of applause. Welcome to TSINY's Miele's Respite 10th anniversary celebration. A round of applause again, everyone. Larry Grubler, Chief Executive Officer for TSINY. We were here 10 years ago with QPTV when you first opened the doors. Tell us about the journey.
The journey's been amazing. We were the only respite program in Queens. We were chosen by the city of New York to provide, they were running a program called Parachute New York, and we got funded to provide a soft landing, that's what it's called, Parachute, for people to avoid hospitalization. And over the course of the last 10 years, we've serviced over 1,500 people, unique individuals, 1,500 individuals, and help keep them out of the hospital and go on with their lives. And what's different, I was actually thinking about this, what's different about this than going into a hospital is that you can continue with your life. So you come to the respite program, it's now stay for 28 days, and you can work on your issues. All the staff here are peers. For those of you that don't know what a peer is, it's somebody that has a lived mental health experience, and they've been trained in intentional peer support to go ahead and provide services to get people back on their feet.
And can you give us an example or scenario of, from beginning to end, if someone has an issue, how they end up here at Miele's Respite?
Sure. I mean, sometimes they come right up from a referral from the hospital or a therapist that says this person is in crisis. They need to be referred by a licensed mental health professional. The response is usually within 24 hours, and the staff do a real quick intake, and then they come here to stay. The people are considered guests. A lot of them are not necessarily from this area. So when we set it up, it's like a hotel room. I actually just gave somebody a quick tour so that they can see it. There's a safe. There are little toiletries, just like you would get in a hotel room, and a book that tells what's going on in the area because they may not be familiar with that.
Definitely. And how is this facility different from your other facilities?
Okay, this one is a 28-day stay. People have to go, they go back to their homes afterwards. Our other facilities are licensed by the State Office of Mental Health, and they're usually 2-year stays. Some of them are permanent housing. It really depends on the level of care that we're giving at the time. This gives us an opportunity to really work with people right now in crisis to get them access to services. When it first started, it was just 7 days, then it went to 14 days, and now we're licensed and we can help people in 28 days, which doesn't seem like a long time, but it is a better length of time that we can start getting people on their feet.
Definitely. And talk about the name of the facilities, Miele's Respite. Talk about Joel Miele.
I know. Joel Miele was the chairperson of our TSI Cares Corporate Alliance reception and event sponsors. He was one of the best leaders of a group like that to get people together. He knew how to move on a meeting. He was the commissioner of buildings, and he was extremely supportive. So when we opened up this facility, unfortunately he had just passed away.
Yes.
And we had decided to name it after him. So it's Miele's Respite, and the Miele's family is here today. You're going to hear from them. And they've been extremely supportive of all of our efforts, and we actually have a Miele's program out in Jamaica as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is great.
Well, listen, Ave is signaling you now.
Yes,
oh
I always do what Ave says, so it's okay.
So
yes.
You're going to go to the front of the room.
I am.
And the presentation is about to begin. A
Thank
round of applause, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ave McCracken, Associate Director for Public Affairs and Development, and I just want to thank everyone for coming today. This is a very special program, 10-year anniversary, really quite amazing, and we have helped so many people. The staff that have worked here, that continue to work here, that will come here in the future, amazing folks that help so many people, and we have a great program today. I just want to thank everyone that's on our speaking program for coming. We really appreciate your time and your support. So let me introduce our fearless leader, Dr. Larry Grubler, Chief Executive Officer.
I don't know if I'm fearless, but I'm full of fear, specifically with public speaking, but let's see if I can make this taller. Okay, Actually, I had a speech, and I'm going to throw it out because working with Roz is always great, and she gives me an opportunity to really explain what we do, and so you got an opportunity to hear a little bit more about that. But when I got here today, I was bombarded with questions. Where am I? What is this? What's going on? Why are all these buildings vacant? All that stuff. And as many of you know, I do a tour of our programs pretty often. Try to do it once a week if we can get people in. But just to give you some historical perspective, this was our first residence 50 years ago, almost. We had 10 people that were taken out of Creedmoor Psychiatric Center. We had a budget of $250,000. We had some shared staffing with Creedmoor. And then that program grew. It's a supervised living setting, which means that staff are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to provide the services that teach people the skills to transition out to the community. That's why it's called transitional services. There's a reason behind that. When I came on board in 1992, at the age of 2, this was a 40-bed program, and I felt it was too large to really do rehabilitation with 40 people. I really did. And I explained that to the State Office of Mental Health at the time, and they were great because they allowed me to separate it into 4 10-bed units. So what you're sitting in right now is one of the 10-bed units. They were each licensed. They each had their own staff. And we're still teaching people. But imagine having 40 people living in your house. I really did want a lot of kids, but I never wanted 40 or 38. But it's hard to do that, right? So if you break it down, you could do a little bit better of a rehab with people. So we had the 4 10-bed units, and then 10 years ago, or maybe 11 years ago, because the program is open, the city had approached us and asked us to join them to open a respite program. Now, keep in mind, I have philosophically always believed in respite. I think it's a great idea. In a different model in my brain, I always thought people may need a break, not necessarily to avoid hospitalization, but just a break. Or a family member may need a break, or something like that. But this whole program was designed to help people stay out of the hospital, continue with their lives, have a soft landing. And what was fascinating, now I started out in the field of mental health. I said I've been here for 30-something years, it's going on 33 years, but I've been in the field of mental health. I started before I was born, 42 years ago. And there were no peers. There were no peers. There's other mental health professionals. So, you were the professional, and that was it. So now we've grown, and the city said we're going to have peers be involved in this program, and they're going to be trained to go ahead and provide the services to other people who are experiencing difficulties. And they got training from all around the world. I mean, I was amazed at the time. People came in from Denmark, Sweden. They had these models, and they were coming in to do the training. The state and city had invested a lot of money into making this work. So at this point, as I said, we have serviced over the majority of people that work here are peers. That means they have a lived mental health experience, and they've helped over 1,500 people. So they're the ones that really deserve the round of applause, because they're the ones that are working with people on a day-to-day basis. And you're going to hear from somebody today. It's hard for me to tell the story, it really is, but it's easier if you hear the story from somebody that's received the services. So we have somebody today that's doing that. And I will tell you that I have used this, people don't like to self-disclose specifically about a family member, but I had a family member that was homeless and in crisis, and they had to be here. Now, of course, it was difficult because when they didn't like the way things were going, they pulled the Larry card. I'm going to tell Larry, but the bottom line is she's doing. She was a pain in the neck in a lot of respects. She really was because of that Larry card thing. But I knew she was in a safe place. I knew she was not sitting in Starbucks. And she's doing really well. She has her own place now. She has a boyfriend. I see her on Facebook. She's about my age. Well, she's a little bit younger than me, but she's doing well. And I think this program got her to that point. So from a family perspective, thank you. It's kind of neat to hear. And now it's my privilege we have some board members in the audience, but it's my privilege to introduce Abby Goldstein, our board president.
I have to turn this down. It's sort of interesting that Larry started 1992, I think, as a child, but he had no hair then either. I don't know what that was. For me, and I think the other board members, Anita's here, I don't know if Joel's here, there's Anita who's on the board. It is an honor. It's an honor. It was an honor when we started it 10 years ago, but it was unproven at that point. This is now proof of success, and it's a great program. I read the newspaper, as you all do, I guess, and it's horrible to read the newspaper these days, Ukraine, the Middle East, famine in Africa, et cetera. And we really don't have the ability to do much about those things as individuals, but this sort of thing is when a local community, when active people care, they can make a difference, and in this case, and with the help of the Mieles and our elected officials, really did make a difference. And I hope it makes you feel good. It makes me feel good. And I'm glad to be here, and thank you.
We would not be able to do anything without the city and the state as our partners. So on behalf of Dr. Sullivan, who's the commissioner, and I will go on record, and I probably shouldn't because it'll get around, but she is the best commissioner in my career. So I just want to publicly state that. She really does get it, she cares, and she sends people out, and she knows about the programs, which is major. I just hope I probably insulted every other commissioner before her. But anyway, the new regional director of the State Office of Mental Health, the field office, is here with us, Najwa Awad. So I'm going to hand it over to Najwa.
So I share your fear of public speaking, Larry. But I wanted to thank you and your leadership team, as well as the board of directors, for inviting the Office of Mental Health to this wonderful event today. I did speak to the commissioner a few days ago, and she was very disappointed that she couldn't be here because she was here for the ribbon cutting 10 years ago. And so she wanted to send her regards. So on behalf of the Office of Mental Health Commissioner Ann Sullivan, I'm pleased to be with you today to celebrate the 10th year anniversary of Miele's Respite. A decade ago, TSI stepped up when the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene asked the agency if they would be willing to convert 10 community resident beds into a peer-run respite program. This was a new program model, but undaunted, TSI went all in. We all know the importance of peers, but back then, having an entire program staffed almost entirely of peers was cutting edge. Miele's crisis residential program has demonstrated that a peer-run program can successfully help someone in psychiatric distress, offer an alternative to an inpatient hospital admission, and in some instances help an individual transition from an inpatient setting back to the community. And of course, if they want a break, crisis residence is the best place to be. I'm happy to celebrate this day with you, and I want to thank TSI for its commitment and strong dedication to help mental health recipients live a better life in the community. And the Office of Mental Health is grateful for the partnership we have with your organization. So thank you so much.
Your fear came across much less than my fear, so I think you did great. Okay, we also have Ebony Young who's the deputy borough president from President Donovan Richards. I got it, and we are always really happy for his support. He's actually one of our favorite people. I have a lot of favorite people, so I'm glad you're all here, but he is one of our favorite people, so he's doing things, and we do respect him a lot. So coming up.
Okay, representing Donovan Richards here, really happy to be able to do that. His passion for this work is incredible. I'm coming from over 20 plus years in nonprofit work, so I definitely understand the work and the outcomes of that work that really matter. It's the summertime really quickly. How many of you all have been extremely hot before? Okay, so like I'm going through this period in my life where I just get hot all of a sudden. If anybody knows about that. Okay, and how many of you have ever been stuck on an elevator before? Like crowded people, and you're like this, and like, oh my God, looking to the right or left of you. I use those physical examples to really sit in That is what it feels like when you are emotionally distressed and can't get out. That hot day, that crowded elevator. I watched a Netflix movie last night where a woman in the Alpines was stuck for 5 days in a 4 by 2 foot space, and all she wanted to do was breathe. There's different levels of it. There's different states of it. But this very organization at TSI New York understands that their leverage is reaching into those boxes, those spaces, those places, and opening doors for people to breathe. And that is why we are just so grateful and so thankful for the work that you do every single day, helping people to rediscover themselves. We're here for you. Thank you all so very much. And happy 10-year anniversary.
And David Sperry is here representing Assemblyman David Weprin. There he is. Come on up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grubler. Thank you so much, Ave, Abby, everybody that works at TSINY, everyone who's come through these doors. It's hard to follow the Deputy Borough President up, but yeah, I view your role here as setting people up for success, and I view our role in that as setting you guys up to set them up for success. So whatever we can do, we're really excited to do so. We just concluded the session up in Albany. The Assemblyman is actually observing Shavuot, which is a Jewish holiday, so he is not out today, but I know that we're in his thoughts, and I know that you are consistently in his thoughts. Larry, Ave, you guys keep a good, you keep us in the loop on this, and I have seen firsthand when we have had issues, you all have solved them. I've seen firsthand how this has positively impacted so many people in and around the community, in our district, and beyond. We help anyone that comes to us, no matter where they are in the city. And when we're upstate in Albany, we want to help everybody as well. So again, please do come to us when you need help doing the good help that you provide. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and Ave and I will tell you together that David Weprin is also one of my favorite people, and so are you, because you have always been helpful, so we really appreciate it. Jasmine Linares is one of the Miele's. We have not had a chance to meet, but I heard you wrote a wonderful speech, so come on up. So you'll get to hear firsthand, and her speech is entitled The Pit Stop, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. How do you lower this?
Well, just grow.
Oh, just.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Jasmine Linares. I actually stayed here at Miele's last year. And I do have stage fright a little bit, but and my speech is going to be a little bit longer. I have a story, so I'm really excited to share that with you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here today as a guest speaker at Miele's Respite for TSINY's 10th anniversary celebration. So today, as I reflect on the profound impact of Miele's Respite, I am filled with gratitude for the community that has uplifted me. I am humbled by the opportunity to share my story, inspire hope, and advocate for the transformative power of resilience and self-discovery. In 2021, my life took an unexpected turn when I was struck by a semi-truck while walking. This challenging incident sparked a profound transformation within me, helping me discover resilience and a renewed sense of purpose. Since that moment, I have been attending the Sun River Health Day Center in Jamaica, Queens for group therapy. It is there that I found a supportive community that truly feels like a second family, inspiring me to dive into my own mental health recovery journey. As a former commercial truck driver who overcame homelessness as a teenager, I navigated the complexities of mental health issues like bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Being a member of the LGBTQ+ community, a person of color, and a Jewish individual, I faced unique challenges compounded by the mental health issues inherited from my family, who also have a history of such struggles. As a former, Miele's Respite provided me with the nurturing environment to comprehensively address my mental health challenges. Through therapeutic interventions, counseling, a peer support group, I gained valuable insights into managing my conditions, fostering resilience, and fostering self-discovery. Empowered by the tailored care of Miele's Respite, I confronted my past traumas, embraced my identity, and cultivated a renewed sense of purpose. As I reflect on the past decade, I acknowledge the challenges of losing connections due to my mental illness. As I evaluated my relationships and influences, I am grateful for the growth and self-discovery that followed. The experience of letting go has taught me resilience and the importance of moving forward. Embracing the lessons learned from adversity, I stand today with a deeper understanding of myself and a renewed sense of purpose. As we gather to celebrate Miele's Respite 10th anniversary, I carry with me the knowledge, through loss, we often find the strength to create a brighter future for ourselves. This transformative journey has inspired me to chronicle my experiences in a book with the aim of empowering and inspiring individuals facing similar challenges. It has also motivated me to pursue a career as a peer specialist at Miele's Respite, where I can provide support and guidance to others on their paths to recovery and personal growth. Guided by my caseworker and friend, Keith's story, I found solace and hope at Miele's Respite, supported by my parents, encouraged by my grandmother, and inspired by my best friend. I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing under the supervision of Alex Ramdiel, the supervisor at Miele's Respite. I received the support and tools necessary to confront my inner demons and embrace a path of recovery. I am reminded of Maya Angelou. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive. Let us stand united in embracing this mission, uplifting one another, providing support, and empowering each other on our unique journeys through life. I want others to know that mental health is manageable, and I'm living proof of that. Thank you.
Ave's running the program, so just hang on a second. It's so much better than I could ever have done. It doesn't really, it's hard for me because I'm just a tall, good-looking white guy that gets up and says stuff, but then somebody like you that has received the services comes along and just puts it all into perspective. So from the bottom of my heart, I don't want to cry. Thank you. I really, it means a lot.
No, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And thank you.
All right, I'm going to call up Mrs. Josephine Miele, the wife of Joel Miele. She's going to say a few words. And Vita Marie Chu, Miele Chu, is the daughter of Joel Miele, so they're both coming up.
Mom's tasked me with speaking for the family. Jasmine, from the bottom of my heart, this place means so much to us, and hearing your story, and hearing your story has truly touched us. My dad would have been so proud of you.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
No. We are so honored to be here to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Miele's Respite and to support the continuing success of this wonderful program. Those who knew my dad knew that after his family, he loved nothing better than to be of service. He learned of the honor of having his name associated with the Respite shortly before he passed. He was very proud of its mission, and especially the peer counselors who are so integral to its success. A soft landing for people suffering a mental health crisis, staffed by people with shared experience. Like Dad, Miele's Respite offers support with connection, acceptance, and affirmation, sometimes just an ear, and it changes lives. We'd like to thank Larry, Ave, Terry, everyone at TSINY for their dedication and vision in the support of mental health. On behalf of our family, and especially Dad, we wish you many, many more years of making a difference.
And I couldn't have said it any better.
We are live on, and I want to thank QPTV again for filming us and getting the word out. As always, they're extremely supportive. Thank you all for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. I'm all glad you're all here. We're trying a new place today for lunch, so it's called Avo Taco. They just opened up in Bay Terrace. So please help yourself to lunch and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And again, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna grab one myself. Let me move this out. There you go. Get in there, Ave.
How about you? Yeah. Get in here. We should come on. You should get in there.
I always try to avoid being in the photo.
Cameras. We should get in.
That's
I'll
right.
be there tomorrow. I'm coming tomorrow.
No, we should get.
I'm coming tomorrow.
Guys, come up too.
Get the whole gang in here. Alex. Great to meet you, Alex. Yeah. That's fantastic. You all should be in the front. I think we can make that work. We got the whole gang here. And move this slightly more out.
No, don't squat. You're good. Yeah. Come on in. Give us a 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. One more. Hold on.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was very emotional. Yes, that was great. Really appreciate that. Just confirm that's yours.
It's fine. I'm confirmed.
Alex, great job. Yeah, thank you. Okay, because I know there's another facility down closer to like okay, yeah, that's right. Well, good job. You got a great success story. I know I had Jazz. I'll send you a message. I have more on the way, but I'm currently maxed out in the session.
So, Deputy Borough President Ebony
Yes.
Young, I know you're a big proponent yourself.
Huge.
Of health and wellness.
Absolutely.
What does this 10-year milestone mean for the community?
For me, and I'm hoping for the community, it means safety. It means a place to come and breathe, as I kind of stated up front, that it's so important. There are so many people that feel restricted, and we can understand physical restriction, but when that physical turns into a mental restriction, it's very hard for people to anticipate and understand what that means for an individual when they can't breathe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. And what do you think of TSINY and the services that they are providing
It's
for
a
the
place
community?
where you can come and breathe, where you can say, emotionally, I am suffering, and I need the tools, the knowledge, and the resources to get me unstuck. And what TSINY does very well is they use the KIT model, right? Compassion, integrity, and professionalism. And they take that KIT model and they wrap it around each and every individual who walks through these doors and needs and desires help, and then they set them free like a butterfly.
I agree. It's just wonderful. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
me.
Appreciate it. Love the community.
Back to
All
you,
right.
Henry. Let's take that quick picture.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we are still live on Queens Public Television.
Oh, we are? Okay, tell
That's okay. So, Abby, you've been with TSINY for how many years now? You've been fighting this great fight?
15 years, 20 years. I was involved before I was ever on the board. I gave some legal advice from time to time on minor matters. And then Eve Hazel sort of pushed me to get on the board, and I don't know if I want to, and she kept pushing, and I got on the board, and here I am. It's been a pleasure, though. It's very rewarding to me.
Definitely. Talk about your relationship with Joel Miele. Miele's Respite is named after QPTV's board member, too. He was
Right.
on the board of Queens Public Television,
Yes, right.
as well as TSINY. Talk about Joel Miele.
Well, I mean, I know that he was a wonderful person, devoted, not just to TSI, but to just community affairs and doing right, for people that don't have the advantages we do. But, he was always so giving to TSI. He was available. Obviously, his family contributed substantial amounts of money. We appreciate that. Of course, his importance to us goes beyond that, and it was his dedication. And he was just a wonderful person also on a personal level. So to have dealt with him, I didn't know him on a personal level closely. I did know him, from the affairs at TSI. It was a pleasure. And his family also, likewise. You heard his daughter speak.
Definitely.
And like father, like daughter.
And as far as Miele's Respite, this facility, how are you rating their progress here after that testimony that Jasmine gave?
Yeah, I mean, that was really heartwarming to hear. It does make you feel terrific, as I might have said before, terrific to just be a part of it, but that was touching. It's hard to keep tears out of your eyes hearing that. It's very rewarding. It makes us happy for her sake and for the others that experience the treatment that she received. But it makes us feel good, right? I mean, that's a nice byproduct, and it keeps us going. I said before, how we started out 10 years ago. You don't know for sure how a project will work out. We know that, we were ambitious about it. We knew it was important. There was a need. But you don't know really how it will work out. And it's worked out terrifically. It's a great success story. Countless individuals that have gotten that breathing space to go on with their lives. It's just very gratifying to see. And that's why this is a happy event.
Well, everybody couldn't see. There was at least, it's a packed house. And you have a lot of peers here today.
Yes.
Supporting one another and just kind of like passing it forward. Am I correct?
You are. And there's a continuing need to have people who will pass it forward. Obviously, generations move along. TSI has done remarkably well with the cooperation of the state. I like to think that we have the confidence of Ann Sullivan and others, the city, Donovan Richards, providing us funding because they, I think, have confidence in our ability to, bring these kinds of things to fruition. And I hope we'll do that. And, that long after I'm gone,
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
me.
No, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. So,
Back to you, Henry.
back to you, Henry.
Jasmine, that was a phenomenal story. Thank you for sharing it with everyone and for all of our viewers because we are live on Queens Public Television. Talk about the staff when you came here. What your feeling was when you came to Miele's Respite.
Oh my gosh. When I first got here, I was actually so nervous. I was in a really bad place, mentally, emotionally. After my accident, like I mentioned, I had to basically changed my lifestyle.
Definitely.
And when I got here, I was really, really nervous, but all the peers reminded me one thing, that we were all peers, you know, even the staff, and that there was nothing to be, you know, scared of, that they would be taking care of me, and that we were going to be kind of like a family at the end of the day, and that I would recover, and I did.
Definitely. And you mentioned Alex, and he's the director here at Miele's Respite. Talk a little bit about Alex and how he's running this facility. He's the director.
Alex is the man.
Alex
is the man.
Let me see if I can. Alex is the man. So we're live still on Queens Public Television, and we're going to drag Alex in here in the shot. So, Alex, jump right here in the middle. That's okay. Let that phone drop. That's okay. You hear a mic drop? That was the phone drop. It's okay. It's insured. So we were talking about how Jasmine felt when she came to Miele's Respite, this soft landing, as it's called. That's what the nickname is, and it's a great name. So talk about Jasmine and the journey.
So Jasmine was here last year, I think in July. When she came, she wasn't doing so well, and she had actually broken her hand at the time, too. She showed up just one day and her hand was broken, and she's like, oh, this is something just happened to me. But while she was here, she was very engaged with the staff. She met with them every single day. She came to me, she asked me for like my opinions as well. And, you know, just seeing her journey through then at that time, it made me really inspired. And I told her, you know, like I would like to hire you down the road. You know, just these are the steps that you need to take to get your peer certification and in order to get hired. And then once everything is in order, just submit your application to HR and then I'll get back to you.
Okay, wait a minute. You're hearing this live on Queens Public Television. We're talking about Jasmine filling out an application to be hired for TSINY's Miele's Respite. Okay, Jasmine, this is excellent news. We're hearing it here live. Tell us how, are you following that process? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping to be, I'm hoping to get, to actually start next month, hopefully. It's like the longest hiring process I've ever been through. But I followed all of Alex's advice. I was so inspired, honestly, by all the peers here and the staff. Just, you know, they helped me so much. So they actually recommended that I go to Howie the Harp, the Howie the Harp program. And I ended up getting into Howie the Harp. And I continued my journey and applied, and here I am. So
that's awesome. So you said Harry the Harp program. Just tell our viewers what that program's about, because we don't know. I don't even know about that program.
So it's the Howie the Harp peer certification program. It's run by Community Access. It's in Upper Manhattan. It's a great program. It's a free program.
Nice.
Basically, there are a few requirements, but the staff is amazing. They work with you. They actually teach you things. That you have professors there that teach you things. You have people that are, you know, inside, you know, TSINY, Community Access, the whole family.
Nice.
They all work together to basically get you prepared with different classes to become a peer, and a peer in different fields too, which is really, really amazing. And I am looking forward to continuing at Howie the Harp.
That is awesome. Well, listen, congratulations, and thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Alex.
No problem. Take care.
Back to you, Henry. Hold on. Larry, what a wonderful presentation. Just spoke to Jazz. I mean, it was just phenomenal. So now it's the part of the presentation where everybody's going to eat.
Yes.
So they're enjoying what are they going to have today?
There's a new place in Queens called Avo Taco, and we decided to support one of the new local businesses. So I'm kind of excited about it, and so far the feedback has been great that the food is good. But I think you're right. The support that the community has shown for us over the years for this program, and it is so much better hearing from somebody that has received the services.
Definitely.
Because they can talk about it so much better than I can.
Definitely.
So it's great. And I want to thank QPTV again for all the support and for getting the message out. The more people that we can educate and just let them know that we're here, the better.
Okay, so what's your next presentation? What's the next gala, event? Just throw it out there for our viewers.
Our summer event is a networking event that's coming up on June 20th. Mm-hmm. It's going to be at Bourbon Street.
Okay.
Okay, and it's not a fundraiser, it's more of a networking event. Mm-hmm. And then we have our gala coming up. It's a New York theme.
Nice.
And that's coming up in October. And then keep an eye out because we're going to have some groundbreakings. We got funding for the two additional buildings that I purchased.
Okay.
So one is on 163rd Street in Jamaica, and the other one is on Archer Avenue. So one is going to be 50 units of housing, and the other one is going to be 100 units, plus all of my outpatient programs and another respite program just like this.
Wow, nice! Congratulations.
So, yeah, it's really exciting. I told my daughter I would retire in 2080.
Oh!
And then she didn't do the math. She said, congratulations, Dad. And I said, do you realize I'll be like 130 years old? But we're going to be busy, so continue to follow us.
Okay, thank you. That's it for today's program. I'm Rosalind Evans, and you are?
I'm Larry Grubler.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.